Hey everyone, welcome back to the studio. And I'm trudging along on this road, and the road is the 3D printer road. And I'm going down this road, and like I've said many times on the channel, a lot of times you get started, you have an idea in your head on what you're going to expect in various situations in life. And it doesn't always work out the way that you envisioned it to be. So we've got to remain flexible. We've got to remain able to pivot, make changes. What am I talking about? Well, I did it. I took the plunge. I did a fair amount of research on what 3D printer to get. I knew for my purposes I wanted to get something that's more entry level in case I didn't like the 3D printing aspect. I wasn't sure. There's some mixed content out there on YouTube, well, I don't really do forums anymore, but asking guys and various groups that I'm in what their thoughts were on getting a 3D printer. Some guys said, hey, I did it, it's problematic. Other guys said, I love it. There's a learning curve. Once you learn how to work your machine, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. So I decided on the Ender 3 Pro. Now it's a 2-year-old model. They just came out with version 2. The version 2, I really didn't go straight for that because there was a delay time in receiving it. With shipping and whatnot, and I was thought, well, there wasn't a huge amount of changes between the version 2 and the version 3, as some led me to believe. So I went ahead, I got the Ender 3 Pro. It came early. It came this past Thursday for me, and the next morning I got up and came down and started working on the assembly. The assembly was fine. I've got some little clips here, maybe I'll throw in here on putting it together. It took, I was filming some clips, an hour and a half, 2 hours to put the whole thing together. I'm a very mechanically inclined guy. I deal with my trucks, my equipment, the things that I need for my lawn and tree shrub chemical business. And I'm a science guy too. I mean, I have a science background. My family has a medical background. So even though I'm the agriculture guy in my family, I still have an understanding of science, how things work, how electricity works, right? So second home, I've rebuilt or put in a finished basement, office 12 years ago. So I have some understanding of power tools and how, to use tools. I have a heated workshop complete with tools and all kinds of things. So I consider myself very mechanically literate. So I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, this machine assembly is probably a 7, maybe an 8 in difficulty. If you're a guy who really doesn't have a lot of savviness, you definitely want to buy a 3D printer that is more complete, may just have a couple of things to put on. Out of the box, you're ready to go. So so this whole thing has been a really steep learning curve. Yesterday, which would have been Saturday, my cherished Saturday, it's crappy weather, it's winter, so hey, I'm going to spend the whole day doing some prints. The first day that I had it assembled was Friday, and I'll show you here on the top-down cam. I did my first print. I pulled this off of a website. I paid $4 for the file. It's an STL file, and it was the Black Seas card holder, and I really liked it. It had the pegs that you could print, and I really liked the layout of the card holder. However, you can see on my first print, I was excited. I'm sitting down here Friday night. I commented to a good friend of mine, Zach. Hey Zach, I said, man, I should have gotten one of these sooner, because I was so excited. This thing was in the process of printing. It was an 8-hour print, and I was sitting in my studio, my gaming hall. I'm basically watching a good movie, This thing's printing away. I'm still play testing and working out the new X-Wing rules, playing another solo game, enjoying myself. And then about 1 in the morning, I woke up, couldn't get back to sleep. Came down to change this out. I wanted to get another print started because I obviously need to build several of these. And I got to looking at it, and you can see how it didn't really work out the numbers and the words. And underneath there's some loose strands that didn't properly print. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing started. Maybe it's just the first print, you know. The CPU in this unit is probably just getting itself adjusted. I had properly leveled the bed. I did all of that, which, you know, Creality, the manufacturer, does not do a good job of including anything with this product to help you. So thank God for the internet. So I did all that, guys. I took, you know, the Post-it note, I did all that stuff. So I went to get the print started again. Well, it scrammed. It didn't want to work. So I said, hey, I'm just going to go back to bed. I get up tomorrow morning and hit this again. So all day Saturday, right? I come down here 8:30, 9 o'clock, had a couple cups of coffee, had breakfast, and it's just would not. It didn't want to stick to the bed. So I watched videos about that. Then it wasn't. The little tugboat, what they call it, the test model that you can print to solve some of the problems with your printer settings. Halfway through, you could tell it was just printing terribly. Had some put a post on Facebook, got some comments about, you know, helping me out, which I appreciate. So this was how it went the whole day, back and forth. Your print head's too high, it's too low. The temperature's too low, the temperature's too high, on and on and on. So by Saturday evening, about dinner time, it was time to go fire up the grill and put some steaks on the grill. I had it, you know, I just had it. I'm OCD, total OCD, you know, got the German DNA. So everything has to be perfect, everything has to be right, for the most part. So I'm like, that's it. The saving grace in this, it turns out I overspent on this printer because I thought, well, I'm just going to get it from Amazon. I get free shipping, not free shipping. I get shipping, and they're going to have a comparative price. I really didn't look around at the prices a whole lot. Now, you can get these for $200 from Creality straight from them, or you can get, now shipping can take up to 2 weeks. But I never did calculate the shipping costs. A lot of guys are saying that is the $50, and Amazon just basically built the $50 into it. Well, the reseller that uses Amazon. So I'm like, okay, I would have still spent this $250 for the printer. So, yeah. So I didn't really lose a lot. But the silver lining in this, if I end up jettisoning this project, I have 30 days with Amazon. No questions asked. I'm a very good Prime member. I order a shit ton of stuff from Amazon every year. Amazon Prime account for, I don't know, 8 years. So they're not going to give me any troubles. I even returned stuff in the past, and they're refunding my money before they even got the product back, right? So so that's a silver lining. If I do jettison this project, I have the box and the packaging. It will be a pain to disassemble, put it back in the box and ship it back. We can here take it to our local Kohl's department store, and they will take care of everything for you. They'll print the label, they'll do everything for you. So I'm not totally out. I can get my cash back and invest it in something else. Now, I'm looking at the Prusa Mini. I can get it assembled from the manufacturer. It comes from Czechoslovakia. They really only make 2 models, the MK3 and now the new Mini has been out since the end of last year. But the shipping is 8 weeks before they even can start shipping it to you. And it takes another week to 10 days on top of that. So we're talking about 2.5 months before I get this printer. It's supposed to be really reliable. The print quality is a lot better. The MK3 I can get in a kit form where I can do a lot of assembly. There's guys online that are saying that takes up to 10 hours to assemble the thing to save 250 bucks. The MK3 is $750 for the kit. The fully assembled, just plug and play, it's $1,000. I'm like, no, I'm just using this to print terrain occasionally for projects and upcoming games that I'm going to be hosting in the gaming hall. Do I have the money? Sure, I have the money. Do I want to part with the money for something that I'm going to use relatively not 100%? It's not like I'm printing stuff to sell on eBay here. So yeah, so I'm looking at if this project gets jettisoned, this Ender 3 Pro, and I say, you know what, I just cannot get this thing to give me decent enough quality. It's getting boxed up, it's getting shipped back. I took another crack at it today. Now, of course, the print's not sticking. People are saying use hairspray, use glue sticks. I'm like, what? You know, you're not using the right type of print board. Now, that's the other thing. The screw drive for the y-axis is askew, right? So guys on the internet are telling you have to print a shim to put in the between the motor and the frame to get the screw drive to not bind as the head goes low on the print stand. Well, that's what happened to me. It bound up. It wasn't raising. It didn't raise up the print head, and it literally carved creases into my flexible magnetic mat. So I was thinking about, well, should I order either a glass one? Some guys like to use the flat metal ones. And I thought, I'm going to print on the other side of the print bed that's still nice and flat. And I'm going to play with it one more time. I'm going to use hairspray. I did get online and downloaded another software package because honestly, the software that came with the Creality is garbage. And I downloaded another Black Seas thing, not like this. And if you're getting into 3D printing, guys, or you're thinking about getting into it, get on thingiverse.com. Most of those prints are no charge. You can put them onto your SD or onto your download it, put it into your software program. They call it a slicer software, and then convert it to the file type that your printer will take, and not cost you anything. It's a simpler card design. That's what I have on the printer over here right now. And the corners, two of the corners are curling up. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna kind of take it a little bit through the day, and if I don't see some improvement, I'm gonna do one more print of this card. I did make adjustments. I've increased the heat on the print head. I've done all that. I've increased the rate that the filament is coming out. I've been watching it and making adjustments. So right now it's not looking good. We'll see. The jury's still out. What's it going to be if I print a hut, like a hut for like the Gauls, and the hut, you can't even print that properly. I don't know. We'll see. But I have the 30 days, so that's good. So yeah, so I just wanted to kind of share. I've got, stuff I've been putting on Facebook because I was so excited about getting this printer. I'm like, hey, everything's really starting to come together here at the studio. I've got a great studio. I love it. It was worth all the hard work and the sacrifice. I'm eyeballing the train. I'm getting my 3D printer. I'm really starting to come in to stride here. I'm like, but I just got tripped. I hit a big rock and tripped and fell flat on my face. So yeah, so I mean, I'm the type of person, I'm a glass half full type person. I don't tend to get too upset too easily. Being in the service business, you have to build a tough skin. So we're moving forward with this project for the meantime. Now, if, like I said, if this gets jettisoned, I'm just going to order the Prusa Mini. I think that's $400 plus 50 for shipping. I'm getting the pre-assembled that just came available. I'm not getting the kit form, which is only saving you $50. And just gonna have to wait. the old print stand's going to be empty for a couple months. And get that. It's more out of the box. It's ready to go. It's all pre-calibrated. Definitely will order the Prusa. The videos I've watched, if you're using the Prusa filament with the Prusa printers, they're getting really, really, really good quality prints. I just don't have time to fiddle with a printer all the time just to get a couple prints. Now, if you have time to burn, and you want some kind of, one of the videos I watched, the gentleman he has a print farm. He sells stuff on eBay, and he uses the Crealities, but he said he's got spare motors, spare parts, belts, because they break and eventually they just don't hold up. But they're cheap. He can just throw motors on them, servo motors, whatever he needs, and keeps his print farm going. And he's just looking at having lots of printers, cranking a lot of kits out, right? So that just depends. If that's your thing, you want to tinker with this, and I've got spare belts and I'm going to keep some spare parts around. I don't care about that because I have time to burn, right? For me, it's not about the money, it's about the time, right? The time. Especially when my season gets started back up. My time is very, very valuable, and I'm very good at managing my time. So I hope that helps a little bit, guys, with this journey with the 3D printer. That's kind of the scale. So as you go down on price, you get down to that $200 range for a printer, it's going to be more of a project printer, right? You start coming up in the price, you tend to have better results, better print quality. This is still on the lower end of the scale. I'm still going to be into this Prusa Mini for about $450 plus the filaments and things. But it's notably more reliable, and I'm not going to have to tinker with it as much. Now in the future, if I say, hey, I really am enjoying printing stuff, and I want to kick it up, I'll inexpensively sell the Prusa Mini and just upgrade to the $1,000 model at that point. But really, if you're really serious and you don't want a lot of headaches, you're probably looking at like a $2,000 and up printer. Self-leveling beds, they're using all screw drives, there's no belts, the motors are warranted, the servo motors, all those things are better quality. They're built, the 2,000 plus machines, $1,500 plus machines, guys, they're made for guys that are running print farms. They're building stuff for a hobby, or for if they're an engineer, maybe like a contracted engineer, and he has to build prototype parts and things, and you're using it in a professional setting, or in a setting where you're really running that machine all the time. That's why those are so expensive, because they're built to last. They're built to take that type of wear and tear. So that's kind of the lay of the land that I'm waded into here the last 2 complete days of putting this thing together, printing stuff up. The total frustration of getting a print, just something simple like a card holder, to print right was an absolute nightmare. All right, guys, I'm going to have another segment coming up here. I'm going to give you a quick update of some of the stuff I've been working on here in the studio besides the printer, and that'll be the next segment. Ciao.